All right. And here we are. Sorry, we're just working out some of these early game technical difficulties on our end.
Okay, maybe I'll jump in with a test on the microphone as well. I can test again on my side. I'm not hearing it through here. I'm unsure if that means it's going to the other part or I cannot hear myself coming through. Can you hear me?
Very minimally.
Pardon?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah?
Yep.
We're good now? We're good on both sides?
I'm going to test on mine. Yep.
Yeah, test. All right, there we go. Okay. Highly anticipated matchup here. The number 1 seeded Crestwood taking on the number 3 seed, I believe, King's Christian Collegiate. I'm Max, and I'm joined here with Steve this afternoon. Steve, how are you?
Great, thanks, Max. Pretty excited for this. I've been waiting to see Crestwood's high-powered offense in live action versus the changing defense of King. So we're about to get going, but I think those two pieces of it will be fun to watch.
All right, Amy Hare and Lattimore with the tip. Amy Hare is going to get that one to Orione, and here comes King. Lattimore, early matchup against Amy Hare, reaches in on the wing. We're down to 10 on the shot clock. Amy Hare trying to make something happen, goes right to the rim and is able to finish.
Yeah, you can see Crestwood does a real nice job there defensively. They put a lot of pressure on all the other passes, taking away pretty much all other options, forcing Amy Hare into a one-on-one situation.
Here's Crestwood. Let's see how they respond. They get a good look for Drummond down low, and she's able to finish with the floater.
So two sides start off a bit differently offensively. Kings comes down, they quickly establish they want to get Amy Hare the ball. It ends up, as we talked about, Crestwood forces that into a one-on-one situation. She's going to create her own shot. It ends up hitting a tough one. At the other end, Crestwood gets almost everybody a touch within the first 30 seconds. And a nice little hoop at the basket. So we'll see if that continues, because you have to think more people involved and more movement is going to play those better dividends for Crestwood than one-on-one play.
Looks like Crestwood switch matchups. We have Edwards on Amy Hare now. They try and get her back the ball. She's able to fight it away from Demake. Kick out. Oriami gets a good look from the corner. Too strong. Fight for the rebound. Amy Hare pulls that one down. A second look for Oriami. That one's just off. Lattimore is able to handle that one for Crestwood.
That was a great rebound by Amy Hare, because you had Lattimore, you had Amy Hare, you had Edwards all in the area. You had three great athletes trying to chase that thing down. She's able to tip it, fight for it, and get her hands back on it. Earns him a free shot for Oriami.
Lattimore attacks the rim, going to get fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
And both teams have done a nice job early of getting some stuff going to the basket. So we saw the very first possession for Kings. Amy Hare gets right to the rim. Now Crestwood's come back and had 2 possessions in a row where they've got themselves the rim as well too. So one of the pieces you like to establish early on, especially in games like this where there's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy in the gym, is you want to get a couple of trips to the free throw line. That helps bring your offense calmer and helps bring a little sense to your offense of what you're trying to accomplish.
Lattimore is able to convert both from the line. High energy here in the gym. Crestwood's bench is into it. Drummond way up on Neal up top. Day Wilson's going to come tip away the pass. It's going to remain here. King's ball on the baseline.
You see now the first possession down, Lattimore matched up with Amy Hare. Now they've had Edwards go with her for the past couple possessions.
Here's Neal at the top driving on Demake. Going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line for 2.
And they're going to need that from King's side as people are starting to attack this, because Crestwood's doing a real nice job of coming out, challenging all the passing angles, putting pressure on the ball. So what that does is it stretches your defense out. You got all 5 on the perimeter in this case. Neal's going to find some opportunities to attack that, soften the defense up, and then look for the next pass for an open shot.
Neal goes 1 for 2 from the line. Day Wilson at the top for Crestwood, working against Thorpe. They look for Edwards on Neal in the post. Good job, Neal, to cut that away. Day Wilson took a look at the room, passed it up, 5 on the shot clock. They get into the lane. Lattimore, though, able to come over for the offensive putback, and she's able to get 2 more.
And I thought Lattimore did a real nice job early in that possession, kind of working herself in behind the defense, biding her time. Once the shot went up, she had that inside position to go follow the shot, grab the offensive rebound, easy putback.
We're going to get Drummond riding the body of Stewart there. She'll be called for the hand check. It's going to be Kings ball sideline.
This will be a bit of a balance for Crestwood. You have a huge impact in the game when you can put a lot of pressure on passing angles, when you can disrupt the ball carriers they have done early on. But you don't want the trade of that to be you get yourself into early foul trouble and allow them to shoot free throws and bonus to keep themselves in the game.
They inbound it. Here's Amy Hare. Get it to Neal. Neal, another great drive, and she's able to finish with the up and under.
Yeah, they've gone twice now to that Neal on Demike matchup, so obviously Kings has liked a bit of that look early on, see if they can draw a second defender.
Oriami came up to guard Day Wilson, little mishandle, kicks out for Drummond for 3, too strong. Oriami is able to come down with that rebound.
Great shot, though. Great find to find the second defender drawn in.
Right back the other way. Quick release from Stewart. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be tied up. Jump ball. It's going to go over Crestwood's way.
Yeah, great offense from both teams here early on. The last 2 shots didn't fall, 1 for either side. But both teams have to be pleased with the shot they got. Day Wilson gets into the key. Kickout gives them an open 3-point attempt. Kings comes back the other way in transition. An extra pass gets them an open 3-point look. So both teams getting great shots early on.
We have Demike and Drummond taking a seat, and we have Reed and Bailey checking in for Crestwood. Day Wilson, a deep 3, just strong, fight for the rebound, and Crestwood retains it.
Yeah, nice job Edwards keeping that one alive. She doesn't end up with the offensive rebound, but she had the first effort to tip it.
Good job Edwards working on Oriami in the block. She's able to finish her first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, all around great possession for Edwards. We talked about the tip to keep the offensive rebound alive and the seal or the work done early before the ball even got to her side of the floor to create that window where she can get the pass in, doesn't need to dribble, just goes and lays it in.
Stewart working on Reed. Great defense at the top. They're trying to get Amy Hare a touch. She's going to pull it out. 9 on the shot clock. Good defense by Edwards, able to tip it away. They're down to 3. Lattimore gets her hand on it. It's going to go out of bounds. 2.4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, one of the challenges here early for Kings, you could feel it on that possession for Amy Harris. You don't want to go the whole game of her having to create everything herself. And right now, both of her touches have been on the perimeter. Everybody watching her go. She's had to break everything down. They need to get her on the move a little bit, catching the ball with a bit of an advantage, and then see what she can create.
For Kings, we're going to have Stupar here check in for Thorpe. So we're going to see likely Neal's going to have to take over the majority of the ball handling duties here for Kings.
1 second, they're trying to create some isolation for Amy Hare down low.
Quick inbound, Neal, a quick trigger 3, gets the rim. Rebound comes down. The fight for it, and Reed's going to come up with it for Crestwood.
Shot by Neal getting that on the rim, though, gives them a chance at the offensive rebound.
Here's Reed against Stewart up top. We're going to get Neal called there on the reach-in. Defending Bailey. It's going to be Crestwood ball here, 14 on the shot clock.
Both teams showing great signs defensively here early, challenging the ball, challenging every pass. Anything that gets loose, they're getting hands in there, trying to get another deflection. So good energy on the defensive end from both sides.
Lattimore, a little step back, long 2, no good. Oriami comes down with it. Good job, Edwards, to cut off her lane, but here comes Amy Hare in transition. Here's Neal on the wing. Good defense by Crestwood, takes away that chance. We're down to 10 on the shot clock against Stewart working from up top. Neal again looking to get in the lane, kicks out to Stupar. Didn't like the look of it. Day Wilson comes flying in, is going to tip that one out of bounds. We're going to remain here with Kings. It's going to be 1.4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, you can feel the impact this Crestwood defense is having right now, and some of the best success Kings has had early on is when they had Neal in a one-on-one, to break that down, and they're going to need a few other people breaking down their one-on-one matchups to soften that up. If you can't attack one-on-one with the pressure defense extended like it is, it makes moving the basketball and trying to get an advantage that way very difficult.
So we're going to 3 on the shot clock, sorry, not 1, and it's going to be Kings to inbound. Here's Stewart, they're looking for Emmy Hare. Gets it in, has to move quick, gets right in the lane, and before she got the shot off, we're going to get a shot clock violation.
Yeah, it's a great attack. I mean, that's what you'd want to see if you're Kings. You get 3 seconds, you go to the rim, you got to eliminate the shot clock as a factor and get the shot that you can, which Emmy Hare did, ended up just being about 0.4 seconds too late.
There's Day Wilson, kneel on her now. They get the switch, now working against Emmy Hare. They're trying to find Lattimore, cutting to the basket, it's going to be tipped away. Reed, though, gets it, tries to pull up, unable to hit the fight for the rebound. Bodies flying everywhere. It's going to be jump ball going over to Kings.
I like what Day Wilson did there. When she felt the switch, she attacked, she got the action going downhill. The next thing you're going to want from her on that is to see where the help defender comes from. So in this case, Day Wilson gets in there, she throws it, tries to get it back to Lattimore, who's on the roll from the switch. But Kings had sent the extra defender there. If we'd have skip pass from Day Wilson to the far side, you had a wide open shooter. And that's probably something we had a chance to talk about here in this timeout, of just to see switch from the defense, extra defender is going to recover to the rim, throw it back to the outside, get yourself an open shot.
All right, so going into the first timeout, we have 5 minutes here to go in the first. We have Crestwood Lions leading this one 8-5 early over the visiting Kings Christian Collegiate.
And this will be a chance now, Max, if you're Kings, you get the first stoppage, you probably go back and talk about what you've been seeing here offensively, and that's been the extended pressure from Crestwood, challenging ball handler, challenging all the passes. Can you run some action now to get somebody a matchup that you like that can attack one-on-one? And once you find that matchup, that'll put a lot of stress on the defense to have somebody help or who's going to come provide some support, then the ball can get moving again. But the key for them right now is to find someone that can break some of the perimeter of that defense down.
All right, so coming out of the timeout for Kings, we have Oriami, Stewart, Stupar, Neal, and Emmy Hare. Coming out for Crestwood, we have De Burrell, Reed, Bailey, Lattimore, and Edwards. Kings able to handle the Crestwood pressure pretty well that time. Neal again gets in the lane. Lattimore cuts her off. They're going to look up top for Emmy Hare. The long jumper, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Stupar comes up with it, and she's able to get the putback to go.
Now, that's a good effort because Lattimore was the first one to get her hands on that, but both Kings athletes stayed in there kind of challenging the ball, didn't let her bring it all the way down, able to knock it free. So second effort produced that offensive rebound.
Crestwood works it around. Gets a good look for Edwards. The fadeaway, no good. Lattimore comes up with the miss, though. Her putback is going to be blocked there by Emmy Hare. Stewart brings it down, and here comes Kings. Emmy Hare, some long steps in transition, gets Oriami a look in the corner, passes that up, but gets to the rim. Fight for the rebound. We're going to get a jump ball there with Oriami and Edwards. It's going to go Crestwood.
Another great effort there on the glass, and that's from both sides. Edwards ends up coming down with that piece, but Emmy Hare's challenging that. Edwards is up there fighting as well. You got bodies flying around. The battle on the glass has been an athletic fight so far, which has been great to see.
We're going to have Thorpe here check in for Emmy Hare, so a mixture of size here for Kings. Edwards now Oriami on her. See if they try and take a mismatch down low. Good job, Oriami. Cut off the driving lane. She gets a good pass, though, to Drummond, who gets a good look for two. Stupar does a good job to challenge that late, and Kings comes up with a miss.
And a great find by Edwards, but most times you get your forward a touch in the paint, you want to see her try and go and convert it.
Stewart finds a cutting Stupar, can't finish with the left hand, and Edwards comes up with a miss.
And both teams with touches in the paint that they would want back.
Edwards goes all the way coast to coast and is able to finish, plus the foul.
Good correction by Edwards. She probably broke the three-point line and had an angle that was going to the side of the backboard. Felt that defender, though, went back to the contact, established the lane that she wanted. Now she had the contact and the angle, drew the foul, able to lay it in. Great take transition.
We're going to subs here at Demica and Day Wilson both check back in for Crestwood. Too strong on the free throw. Right in the game, though, Demika comes up with the rebound. They swing to her, a good look for three. Just off, but another Crestwood offensive rebound. But we're going to get offensive foul here called on Drummond, so the shot's going to be waved off.
You know, those are ones, I mean, in the moment probably for Crestwood, you never like an offensive foul called on you. You're going to not see the light, but I think this is one of those pieces that Crestwood's going to encourage that effort because this is a great offensive rebound. They get in the first one. They get a three-point look at it from Demiki on the outside. They get a second battle for the rebound, so you just want to encourage your athletes to continue to have that fight. This time results in a miss and an offensive foul, but if you're going to continue to crash the glass like that, they're going to win the game in the long run.
Crestwood remains in that pressure. Neal looks to handle it this time. Demika guarding. Oriami finds a cutting Neal wide open under the basket, but another missed opportunity right there for Kings.
And the last two for Kings, they've had some nice action on the outside. It's got almost essentially like a back cut. Back screen or back cut, something to the rim. They've had two nice touches going to the rim and have missed them both.
Good job there. Thorpe to cut off the transition look for Crestwood. It's going to go out of bounds here. Crestwood ball, 17 now on the clock. There's Lattimore. Good job, Oriami, to disrupt the pass getter out of the key. Demika pressured at top, though. We're going to get a Kings foul. It's going to be their fifth, so it's going to be bonus situation here.
Good challenge by Oriami on the entry pass. So they had Lattimore down the block. To get that touch probably would have set Crestwood's offense up for a good shot. Her challenging that pass, forcing it to the perimeter, gave them a chance to move the ball back to the outside and I guess challenge a pass on the next cutter as well.
Sorry, my mistake. It's going to be the team's fourth foul, but it's going to be Stewart picking up her second. So it's going to be Crestwood ball here on the sideline, 14 on the clock. Day Wilson, some nifty dribbling, gets right to the lane. Unable to hit the shot, but she'll draw the foul. She'll go to the line for two.
I like that one too. So we talked earlier about Day Wilson getting into the switch action and attacking, and that was against Amy Hare, which is probably a different matchup. But to get Stupar out there as far as she had her about 2-3 feet beyond the three-point line, you want her to attack that matchup one-on-one, which she did, get her going downhill. And that's going to force Kings to either send extra bodies to the rim to help out, or they're going to leave that one-on-one, which I think Day Wilson's going to want to attack all day.
Day Wilson goes 1 for 2 from the line. A rare miss we've seen from her. One of the highest free throw shooters in the OSBA. And right out of it, Crestwood comes with the pressure. Kings trouble getting it over. It's going to get called for the 8-second violation.
Now, if you can get an early tip like that when you're in pressure, you're in a pretty good spot, because what happens is offense is going to speed up. They start throwing longer passes, and with the clock expiring here, it's exactly what happened to Kings. They throw that long cross-court pass, and that was going to be high risk for a steal had the time clock not already expired on them.
We're going to have Amy here checking back in here. Thorpe's going to take a seat also with 2 fouls. Day Wilson again working on Stupar. Good closeout by Hartman. Cut off Demika. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Lattimore. It's going to go back over to Kings.
Demika does a nice job on the skip. She gets that a chance to attack, but probably what she would want back is that very first dribble left her almost standing still, meaning shot fake at the defender running at her. When she put the ball on the floor, she really had gone nowhere. Had she used that first dribble to take some space, she probably would have had the advantage she needed.
Good job. Kings able to break that. Emmy Hare gets it in transition and finds a cutting Stupar. 2 more for her. Lead cut to 2.
Yeah, and if you're Crestwood, you probably don't hate that. You just missed on a steal. Sometimes you're going to live with taking some chances.
Great job, Neal, there to cut off the driving lane for Day Wilson. Her pass for Day Burrell in the corner is too high and out of bounds. It's going to be turnover for Crestwood. Kings ball here as we see Edwards check back in for Day Burrell.
Yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but I think those last 2 possessions for Crestwood had the outcome they didn't want, but it wasn't that bad. You just missed on a steal on defense, which results in a layup against you. And then the other way, you found the right person in the corner, just passes a little too high.
Great job there. Oriami getting it right over to Amy Hare, and she's able to finish with the right-handed hook. And we're all tied up here, folks. 2 minutes to go in the first.
And Kings has done a real nice job of attacking this defense in the quarter court, the pressure they're facing there, and getting shots at the rim.
Demika gets to her left-hand floater, too strong. Stupar comes down with it. They're looking to push. They get it to Hartman, who kicks ahead to Emmy Hare. She's going to pull it out with no numbers. Neal, though, hesitation attack, gets in the lane, is going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and great read by Neal. What I really love about this is Emmy Hare is below her in the corner, so she's ahead of her on her right. She sees the defenders are still out to 9. They don't want Emmy Hare to get the ball back. That means they're going to get no help from that side. Neal just attacks that gap. There's no one to help support it. Gets a chance to go one-on-one right to the rim.
Kings having trouble inbounding it. Tried to find Oriami cutting. Good job, Lattimore, to disrupt the catch. It's going to be tipped off Oriami and out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Crestwood.
And I think Kings had the cut they wanted there. They had drawn almost all the defense out to the three-point line, pulling everything away. Got Oriami on the backdoor cut. Unfortunately, the pass was probably about a half-second later that you wanted. Didn't leave enough room to both catch it, be at the rim, and stop herself before falling out of bounds.
We're going to have a timeout Crestwood here. 1.5 to go in the first. We're going to all tied up here at 11. Both teams now in the bonus situation. We have foul trouble for both teams early. We have Drummond and Demake for Crestwood, both with 2, and Stewart and Thorpe, both with 2 for Kings.
Yeah, what Kings has to like right now, and I'm assuming both teams are going to be talking about, is Kings getting the shots they're getting at the rim. So most of the offense, or when we talked early, we talked about the pressure they were facing on the perimeter. They had to get something going to the rim. They're doing that. Kings are going to ensure they keep that action going. And what it's going to do here is dictate, is Crestwood going to start to send some support at the rim to prevent those shots at the rim, in which case will open up the chance for the ball to move around the perimeter. Crestwood on the flip is going to decide if they want to stay in that pressure, they're getting enough out of it from the steals, or they're going to, as we just said, start to sag some things off here and provide support because they're worried about the shots to the rim. So this will be a good minute and a half now for both teams to see where that's at and potentially try something different you want to do for later in the game.
Coming out of the timeout for Kings, we have Hartman, Oriami, Neal, Emmy Hare, and Stupar. For Crestwood, we have Lattimore, Drummond, Edwards, Day Wilson, and Demika. Day Wilson using the Drummond screen, gets in the lane, finds Lattimore cutting. She pulls out the step back, too strong, and Stupar tracks it down for Kings.
Now, Lattimore's had 2 great touches today where she's taking herself further from the rim before shooting.
Good job, Emmy Hare, able to get right in the rim. She'll be fouled there by Edwards. She'll go right to the line for 2.
So Crestwood is going to want to look at this because Lattimore's done a real nice job moving without the ball, getting the touch she's had. But then to get herself comfortable right now, she's continuing to go away from the basket. They're going to want her to get a little bit of the opposite going. She's going to draw a crowd. She's going to draw help. Get yourself going to the rim, see if you can get a foul or something at the rim as a shot attempt as opposed to a fadeaway going away.
Emmy Hare unable to hit either from the line, and Lattimore cleans it up for Crestwood. Edwards working on Hartman. The double comes, goes to the fadeaway, too strong, and Stupar another defensive rebound. Here's Emmy Hare again in transition. Kicks this one out. A good look from Oriami from the top. Rims out. Emmy Hare, though, able to tie up Drummond, is going to cause another jump ball.
So again, we get Edwards now with another touchdown there. She does a real nice job of keeping herself on balance. She pivots away from the double team, but she doesn't read the double team is there, ends up just shooting over top of it. Once she had herself on balance as she did, she should have made that read the second defender and then moved the ball. They could have had somebody else wide open.
Woo. And there's that Kings pressure we haven't seen so far this year with Emmy Hare at the front. Early steal, and Neal gets right to the rim for 2. Day Wilson gets it to Edwards up top. Emmy Hare comes flying in for the tip-away steal. Stupar picks it up for Kings. Gonna gets it to Emmy Hare, and Edwards is gonna foul her in transition. She'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that's one you really don't want if you're Crestwood. Not just it's bonus, you get the 2 shots for Emmy Hare, all that is part of it, but also you get Edwards now getting a second one.
Yep, in 30 seconds.
Just making sure to confirm that, yeah, in 30 seconds on the other side of half. Really just not a foul that, again, not that you can control these things, not that Edwards wanted to get that foul, but at Crestwood you really just didn't want to get caught in that situation. Would have loved for her to escape the first quarter, just the 1 foul. And it's a funny piece in basketball. These things all seem to add to momentum sometimes. So you get the steal on the first pressure they come in. They come on the second time, Emmy Hare dives on the floor, and you're feeling really good if you're Kings. So the flip of that of Crestwood is what you don't want to do is foul them right away and just continue to be steal, free throws, and just all seems to be going Kings' way so quickly.
Emmy Hare is able to hit both that time. This time we see no Kings pressure. They're going to drop back. Looks like a zone look with Emmy Hare at the top. Day Wilson probes, gets right in the lane, kicks out. A good look for Bailey from 3. Just strong. Neal brings it down for Kings. Day Wilson, though, fighting for the steal, is going to foul Oriami this time. 2 more chances for Kings from the line.
Yeah, and the fouls of the bonus situation here are the ones killing Crestwood. And we just talked about that the last free throws of how this momentum can add up. But again, you're going to see the same thing down here. So Crestwood goes down, has a pretty good possession. You could have stemmed some of that momentum down and started to even things out. But if you foul right away on the missed shot, it turns into from a possession that ends up in a miss, right into 2 more free throw attempts. It just feels like everything's going Kings' way. So Crestwood now gets last possession to finish the score. They want to ensure they get a good shot. Doesn't have to be a make in this spot, but a good shot that has to help ease the tension that's happened here at the end of quarter.
Oriami hits the first, unable to get the second. Emmy Hare, though, able to clean it up. 5 on the clock. Neal's working up top. Uses a Stupar screen. The step back. Just beats the buzzer, but unable to go. So that takes us to the end of the first. We have Kings leading this one, 16-11 over the hometown Crestwood Lions.
When we saw Max there at the end of the quarter, the Kings showed some pressure and a different defense when they fell back to their 3-2 or 1-2-2 defense, and Emmy Hare at the top creating some havoc. And this is a great look for them. We've known the Kings has always liked to show different looks defensively. But what will be interesting to watch in the timeout now that Crestwood has seen this, or the quarter break, is that they're going to attack the underneath part of Emmy Hare. And we saw in the last possession, they got one reversal. Emmy Hare is up real high playing that pass, so the guard-to-guard can't happen. But Day Wilson was able to cut underneath that almost into the key. And now you've eliminated Emmy Hare from the defense, and you've got everything in front of you. So we'll see if Crestwood's going to have some action now. They can get underneath Emmy Hare and leave her out of the defensive package and play 4-on-4 below her.
With Kings foul trouble, it is important to note we do see Emmy Hare will not be starting the second for Kings. We do have Thorpe and Stewart both out. It will be interesting to see how Oriami and Neal now, they're going to have to handle the majority of the ball handling duties for Kings, which they are capable of, but not a situation they've done against a defense such as Crestwood so far.
Yeah, and thus far, Neal's been the one breaking down the one-on-one matchups, but I would assume with this lineup that we're going to continue to see Crestwood apply ball pressure, challenge the passes, see if their defense can make something happen here and change over this momentum.
We're going to have Hartman to inbound here for Kings. For Kings, we have Hartman, Neal, Ami, Emmy Hare, and Stupar. For Crestwood, we have Bailey, Reed, Drummond, Lattimore, and Day Wilson. And Oriami gets right to the rim with the Euro. Unable to hit the layup, though, for Kings. It's going to be tipped out of bounds there by Lattimore. It's going to remain here, Kings. 15 on the shot clock.
Nice job, Oriami there. I felt like a defender got a hand. She was able to still rip that through, put it up to the rim. So she gave herself a chance with good, strong hands.
Hartman looking for Emmy Hare. She gets it in the corner. Good job, Lattimore, to tip that away. Emmy Hare is able to pick that up, though. Here's a good look. Hartman from the corner. Just off. Day Wilson brings it down for Crestwood. Day Wilson, little hesitation. Crossover, gets to the rim. She'll be fouled. 2 more shots for Day Wilson from the line.
Yeah, great hesitation there at the three-point line. Day Wilson, she just kind of froze to that half second. It seemed like all the defense let up as well, too. So when she exploded on the next dribble, there was a bunch of hands getting on her. She felt the contact, put the ball up on the rim.
And Day Wilson hits both from the line. Kings, good job with that Crestwood pressure. Gets the Oriami right in the middle. Tries to do the left hand over Lattimore, but the length bothered her there, unable to hit.
Yeah, Lattimore allows you to apply that pressure because in the back end she can challenge the shot. It's a great job disrupting that advantage.
Bailey does a good job getting in the lane, but miscommunication there with Drummond on where she was going to go. It's going to be pass out of bounds. It's going to go over to Kings.
Sometimes you talk about the theory of this stuff, Max, and you can get an advantage if team pressures you and you can break it and get to the middle of the floor. You feel really good as offense. You want to attack, but you can take those chances if you're Crestwood because the back end of it is just Lattimore challenging that shot. She's almost doesn't get a block, but just takes away the entire layup.
We have Stewart and Thorpe both checking back in for Kings. We're going to have Oriami and Neal taking a seat. Thorpe right off the bench gets right in the lane. It's going to be Fowl taking the drive. She'll go to the line for 2.
And probably didn't want that foul, and that Thorpe had gotten by her, but you had help coming. Thorpe was really extending, trying to get to the rim. Probably going to be a tough shot. Probably playing a speed that she wasn't comfortable scoring, so you want to leave those situations, not get your hands in there.
Unable to hit the first. Rims out on the second. Emmy Hare right there for the offensive rebound. Blocked on the up attempt. Gets her rebound though, and she'll be fouled.
I mean, the rebounding battle here is really showcased just what we have here in the OSBA. You got athletes flying all up around the rim, getting multiple hands on the ball, people ripping for it, fighting for it. It's been a battle every time the shot's gone up.
Hartman to inbound here. Stewart cutting right to the ball. Stewart tries to do a look in the post. Short. Emmy Hare, though, fights for the rebound. She's going to tip it out of bounds, and let's go over to Crestwood.
Great foul there by Emmy Hare to keep that thing alive. And sometimes it's tough on the air balls for both offense and defense to know where it's going to go. Emmy Hare just kind of chased that ball. Good pursuit, gets a tip on it. Tries to keep it in bounds, but covered too much ground, couldn't get the angle that she wanted.
We're going to have Edwards checking back here and Lattimore taking a seat for Crestwood. Good defense here for Kings. Crestwood, they're down to 7 on the shot clock. Thorpe dives on the floor, picks up the steal. Good job, though, Reed to also jump on. It's going to be jump ball remaining here. Crestwood 5 on the shot clock.
Yeah, probably didn't go the way Crestwood wanted. They looked a little unsure what they were facing defensively. Ended up just going about 2 passes in the offense and probably 11 dribbles, and the ball had really not gone very far. So, really, they had a call coming in from the bench now, trying to get themselves organized, what they're trying to do on offense. Probably missed Edwards down the low block on a one-on-one to start some penetration.
Dave Wilson gets right in the lane. Great no-look pass for Edwards. Just out of her reach, it's going to go over to Kings.
That's another one of those plays where I think you encourage a little bit of creativity. So the pass missed the mark, but what the challenge is for Dave Wilson is not to give up that pass, but rather refine the skills to be able to make it on target.
Kings throws it right over the top. They get it to Hartman. She does a dump-off pass. Amy Hare is able to finish. 18-13 lead here now for Kings.
Yeah, no Lattimore in the back end changes the look of that pressure, plus Amy Hare being the one finishing changes the look of the offense.
Good job, Edwards there, able to back Amy Hare down and finish with the left.
I like that offense for Crestwood, getting Edwards some touches down the block. We saw it earlier. We talked about the one where she had drawn a double, but we want to continue to get it there. It's the same as penetration. She gets a touch in there. It's going to force defense to come. If it is a one-on-one, then you want Edwards to go to work.
Here's Stewart inbound. Gets it to Hartman. Stewart thought about the drive, kicked out to Thorpe. Good job, Crestwood, to close that gap. We're down to 10 on the shot clock. Stewart's calling for the screen. Spins off the Oriami screen, gets right in the lane, gets an open drive to the basket, and finishes with the floater.
Great job, Stewart. Way to be under control. So she comes up there. Edwards jumps up on the hedge. Stewart does a real nice job being in control and on balance, so she can spin off that, split the defense right down the middle.
Good job, Reed, coming right back with the side stab, gets an open look, unable to hit. Gets her offensive rebound, though. Day Wilson's calling for it on the wing. Takes a dribble in the lane, dumps it off to Edwards. Tries to finish. We're going to get Stewart, though, called for the foul, and Edwards is going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's one of those ones you go back and you're watch the tape, and you're going to be like, that's going to be Stewart's own fault that she got that foul. The rebound that went up, Oriami does a tremendous job on the block out, but she's tied up in a great battle as this game has continued to be on the shot. Stewart had leaked out a bit here and didn't clean up that excess outside the fight. So once she was out of position, the ball gets regained by Crestwood, gets reversed, goes inside. Now Stewart's out of position, and, of course, you're going to get a foul. So, like I said, those are ones that you're going to watch video. It's going to be tough because you kind of set yourself up in a bad position 3 or 4 plays in advance that you're going to end up drawing yourself the 3rd foul.
And we're going to have, with Stewart picking up 3, we're going to have Skumatova checking in here for the first time of the game. And we have Edwards unable to hit either from the line there. So Kings cleans it up, and here comes Oriami looking to attack. They look to get Stupar a touch up there at the high post. Tipped away, though, by Edwards. It's going to remain here. Kings ball 14 on the shot clock. And we're going to get Neal checking in. Hartman's going to head to the bench.
Last time we saw Kings come out in the horn set, they ran some action to go as a back screen or a rub on the backside to get something to the rim. We'll see if they try something like that again, too, if they can loosen up this defense.
Double throwing it in here for Kings. Good job, Oriami going behind. We're going to get a foul there, Crestwood, on Oriami's drive as Demake is going to pick up the foul. We're going to get Oriami shooting 2 from the line.
And Crestwood's had a couple of fouls here in this game. They probably went. This is one of the balances that you always have when you have a defense applying high pressure. So you're getting the challenge passes, you're playing for steals, and that's a great philosophy defensively. One of the really difficult parts to balance in that is like keeping your hands out of situations where you're at a disadvantage. And this is showing the last one now. Oriami's heading downhill. There's no one really in front of her. So instead of trying to get your body in front, you put your hands in there, and that's almost every time going to be a foul from the referee.
Oriami good from the line, 2 for 2. Extends the Kings lead now up to 7. And we're going to get Demikos heading to the bench with what we believe is her 3rd foul. So we're going to get Reed checking back to the game for Crestwood. There's Day Wilson working on Thorpe. Gets it back, the step back 3. Just off. Zulich, though, comes down with the offensive rebound. This time gets in, goes with the left-handed floater, too strong. Dives on the ball, though, is going to tie up her own miss. It's going to be jump ball remaining here with Crestwood.
Great attack, though, by Day Wilson. Gets it from the top, gets to her left hand, gets all the way into the heart of the defense. Shot doesn't go this time. That's going to be a quality shot and force the action on the defense, which is going to pay dividends throughout the rest of the game.
Kings are going to come out with what looks like a zone defensive look here on Crestwood. They're able to get it in balance. They go for the steal swing. Good look from Zulich from the corner. Just off, though, and Kings is going to bring down the rebound.
Crestwood did a nice job against the trap, but never could slow themselves back down on offense.
And right back the other way, Oriami hits a 3.
Saw that one earlier, too, for Kings. They've done a nice job when they've had opportunities in transition to find the open cutter for an open 3-point shot.
Good job, Skumatova, disrupting that pass, able to tip it away. Oriami comes up with the steal. Kings looking to push. Good job, Crestwood, to get back. But Neal, a quick trigger 3 from the top, and she hits it too.
Oh, big shot there. Oriami made that whole thing happen. The first rebound she gets at her own foul line, able to split 2 defenders. Anytime you can split 2 defenders, it basically means you're heading into an advantage situation. So Oriami, with the awareness at that spot that she's drawn or blown past the second defender, heads downhill, makes the extra pass, and the ball just has to move one more time, and Neal gets an open look.
And we've had a back-to-back threes, pushes the Kings lead here 28-15 over Crestwood. 6 minutes to go in the second.
Yeah, it's been the game started with both teams scoring at a pretty high clip. Then we hit a bit of a drought there. Both teams slowed down. Now what's happened is Kings has got going again offensively, and Crestwood has never really gained that pace back they had early in the game. So here in the second quarter, we got a 12-4 run for Kings in the first 4 minutes, and that's been about the pace for Crestwood for about the last 10 minutes of the game. So they got to find something now on offense that's working for them a bit. They've had some good possessions that have come up empty, but they need a couple of great possessions or something to go to get some rhythm going on offense.
And coming out of the timeout, we have the starting lineup for Crestwood all checking back into the game. We have Day Wilson, Edwards, Lattimore, Drummond, and Demika. For Kings, we're going to have Skumatova, Stupar, Neal, Oriami, and Thorpe. We're going to have Day Wilson here bringing it up for Crestwood. Tries to find Edwards down low. Oriami's going to get called for the reach in there. It's going to be her first.
Yeah, I like that Crestwood comes out and they look inside to Edwards. We talked about the impact she can have if you get her touches on the block, what that does to the defense. I also like that Oriami doesn't let it come in easy. Sometimes you got to take one foul just to establish that they're not getting what they want.
Crestwood inbounds it. We're going to get the double there. We're going to get a 5-second violation, I believe. Closely guarded. Jump ball, sorry, and its ball's going to go over to Kings.
I actually like that Edwards holds on to that one. She could get stuck in a bad spot. You don't want to throw it away. Kind of a sunk cost of already stuck in the double team, so make sure you hold on to it as opposed to just turning it over.
Oriami looking to drive on Edwards. Good defense there, staying in front. Edwards is able to bring down the miss, and she's going to take it right away for Crestwood. Kick ahead. Here's Lattimore on the block, and she's going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line for 2.
Now, I like the job Edwards does there. She recognizes she has space, pushes Dave Wilson ahead of her down the right wing, gets her out into space as well, too, so gives herself some options. And she breaks about the volleyball attack line here in the court. Lattimore sees Lattimore on the block, gets the ball to her. And then the best part, I think, for Crestwood is Lattimore gets that touch, and it's probably the first time she took it and went to the rim. So we thought about a couple times earlier she's had some touches and she's gone away. This time she goes towards it, draws the foul, gets herself a chance to go to the free throw line, and establish a bit of offensive rhythm.
Unable to hit the first for Lattimore. Hits the second. Gonna have Amy Hare checking back in. We're gonna have Oriami taking a seat.
And Oriami had given some really great minutes there. Obviously, adding Amy Hare is a plus for Kings, but they're going to need some more of that decisions or slashing that Oriami has added here the past few minutes.
Good job, Thorpe, able to get by Day Wilson. Skumatova gets in the lane, tries to dump it off to Amy Hare. It's going to be a miscommunication there. It's going to go out of bounds. Ball over to Crestwood.
Yeah, it's probably the right idea to get a nice ball screen for her. She comes to the middle. She does a nice job getting the defense, but she never really turns the corner like she wants to score. So the defense plays that pass the entire time, makes the window to get that to Amy Hare so small so the bounce pass can't connect.
There's Lattimore working on Hartman, kicks out. Demaka, deep three from the corner, no good. Hartman brings down the rebound. Here's Neal, and he gets it to Amy Hare. They're going to try and slow it down here, Kings. Thorpe gets it to Stupar, high post, drives on Drummond. A big block there by Lattimore. It's going to be out of bounds. Kings ball here on the baseline, 13 to go. We're going to get Oriami checking right back into the game, and Stupar is going to take a break.
Yeah, I like Lattimore at the other end as well, too. Obviously, an incredible block down at this end of the athleticism and the timing to make that happen. But I thought even more importantly with the other end, we had 2 possessions ago. Lattimore gets a touch on the block. She has the patience and the drive to go to the rim to draw the foul. This time she gets it again and again heads to the middle before making the pass up to the corner. So you've had 2 very positive possessions in a row now, getting the ball to Lattimore on the block. If I'm Crestwood in this scenario, you might be looking at coming back to her again, see if there's going to be any kind of adjustment for Kings, or if you're just getting something of a hot hand going from Lattimore.
All right, Kings here calling the timeout. Lead is 12, 28-16 here. 4:45 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting stretch if you're Kings here with about half a quarter to go, 5 minutes. You're on a 12-point cushion right now. You want to make sure you stem this as long as you can, and it doesn't mean that you have to extend it in the first half. That's a big ask when you're playing the #1 seed in Crestwood. But if you can do some things here that doesn't let Crestwood get their momentum going to halftime, that slowly starts to build the pressure on the top seed, and it's a challenge or a burden you face as the favorite in any game. If you're down at halftime, it's just an extra burden on you. So Kings wants Crestwood to feel that burden, and they want them to feel it without momentum going to halftime. So in its own way, this 4.5, 5 minutes is a real important stretch for Kings.
Both teams come out same lineup. Crestwood remains Demake, Edwards, Lattimore, Day, Wilson, and Drummond. Out for Kings, we have Neal, Thorpe, Emmy Hare, Oriami, and Hartman. Kings inbounds it. Get a look for Neal in the corner. They're looking for Emmy Hare on the block. They get it to her, swings out. Hartman, here's Thorpe up top. Just off. Fight for the rebound. Emmy Hare tips it. Oriami's going to corral it for Kings.
Great battle on the glass.
Here's Thorpe working up top. Bodies flying everywhere. A long 2 here for Oriami. Unable to hit. Lattimore brings that one down. It's Day Wilson ahead of steam in transition. Demaka gets right in the lane. The floater off. Lattimore, though, able to bring down that rebound. She'll be fouled. She'll go back to the line for 2 more for Crestwood.
Yeah, I feel like she's making a lot of this happen herself, but Lattimore's having a big impact right now in the last 2 minutes. The foul drawn, the block shot, the kick out. Now another offensive rebound, chance to go to the line again. Probably exactly what Crestwood need in this stretch.
Lattimore's able to hit the free throw.
Hey, let's go. Defense time. Knock that down. Defense time. Box it out. Don't leak out.
2 for 2 for Lattimore. 6 for 7 early on here from the line, and we're going to get Stupar checking right back into the game. Hartman's going to take a seat for Kings. Good job, Neal, able to break through the pressure. Here's Oriami on the wing. Good job, Edwards, to deny Emmy Hare. Oriami gets right in the lane, blocked by Demike. Follows, unable to hit the putback. Crestwood brings down the rebound, and here comes Day Wilson. Little hesitation up top, gets right to the lane and flies in for the left-handed layup.
Yeah, another great little hesitation there. We've seen that one twice now from Day Wilson. She gets ahead of steam, the hesitation, getting people to let up, getting back bottom to her left hand.
They get it to Emmy Hare up top. 10 on the shot clock, trying to work on Edwards, gets to the crossover, right in the lane, and she's going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line for 2.
I tell you, it's a lot of work right now if you're Emmy Hare, though. If you're going to continue to get the touches 4 or 5 feet off the three-point line and have to create shots, that's a lot of work to do and a lot to put on an offensive player. Kings has got to find some touches for her where she's on the move or in more dangerous positions when she catches the ball. She's made some things happen here today just due to one-on-one breaking things down, but it's tough to withstand that over 40 minutes.
Emmy Hare hits the first. It's going to be Edwards picking up her third, so she'll head to the bench. We have Bailey checking back into the game here for Crestwood. Emmy Hare able to hit again. 10 points here for Emmy Hare in the first half. We're going to get a trap there by Kings. Oriami comes with the steal. They have 4 on 2. Neal gets a good look. A long 2, though. Unable to hit, and Crestwood comes down with the rebound.
I love the patience there by Neal to ensure she didn't rush in, got a good shot. They had an advantage, took the time to find what that shot was.
Bailey looks to drive on Thorpe, gets a good look there. Lattimore working in the block. Her pass though for Drummond mishandled. Neal comes up with another steal for Kings.
Another one with Lattimore going to the rim. Would have loved to see her take that shot. She had earned it. Nice little spin to the baseline side.
Here's Emmy Hare at the high post this time. Thorpe uses the Emmy Hare screen, gets in the lane. Another huge block by Lattimore. It's going to go out of bounds. Kings ball. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Great attack by Thorpe. Tremendous timing and block there by Lattimore again. Well, you usually tell your guards in that situation, when you've got ball, you know a big's chasing you, make sure you get that shot up nice and high. Let it float down the rim. And what you're really looking for is just get it over the shot blocker. Let the rebound play out because your forward's now unmarked on the other end. In this case, it would have been Emmy Hare chasing things down without Lattimore on the play to rebound. You have a great chance that the miss could have gone to her. She's going to get it over that shot blocker.
Here's Bailey, the 3. Unable to hit. Day Wilson, though, cleans it up for Crestwood. Little quick floater from the free throw line. No good, but Drummond this time with the follow.
Yeah, Day Wilson makes that look so slick. The rebound there. Just gets a little touch on it, knocks it away from the defense. They regain possession. She's in control the entire time. Makes it an easy follow up there, and then Drummond gets the follow.
There's Oriami on the wing. Calls for the Emmy Hare screen. Uses it up top. They get it to Emmy Hare on the wing. 5 on the shot clock. Lattimore guarding. Gets right in the lane. We're going to see the officials confirm here. And we're going to get a block there on Drummond. So another tough foul call there for Crestwood. It's going to be Drummond's third. So mounting calls here for the Crestwood defense.
One of the challenges here in the offensive that Kings is running right now is that Oriami's coming off the screen. And it's not just Oriami. The last couple times, they're trying to run some ball screens to get Emmy Hare in space. So what they're trying to do is get the screen defender, in this case Lattimore, to pull away with the ball carrier, throw it back to Emmy Hare with an advantage or a closeout. But the ball carrier is not getting enough separation or not drawing that second defender. So Emmy Hare's not really getting advantage. She's dribbling off, throwing it back, and it's still a straight one-on-one type situation. Kings is going to need the guards coming off the screen to be a threat to score themselves first, and then it'll bring Amy Hare into play.
Amy Hare hits 2 more from the line. She's hit her last 6 for 8 now from the free throw line. Day Wilson. Demike high up, pressured by Neal. 9 on the shot clock here. Gets the pull up right at the foul line, and she's able to hit her first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, that was a nice one too. She does the patience and the balance there. Let the second defender come running at her, escapes that, and now the Kings in a bit of scramble. She just finds the open space, doesn't rush, gets in that pocket and takes a shot.
There's Amy Hare guarded by Bailey. Backs her right down, gets in the lane, gets the finger roll. Can't hit that though. Good help there by Drummond coming over. And Crestwood pushing. Great pass there by Day Wilson. But Neal's able to rip it away from Drummond. Woo. Bodies flying, but the pass from Drummond's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go over to Kings.
I like that last one though for Amy Hare. You get her a nice touch, the matchup that they like. She takes her time on that one, not again in a rush. Surveys with the defense if anyone is going to come, if a second one comes. The defense waits for her at the help line, so she decides she gets a chance to take a one-on-one, go get a good shot at the rim. I think it's the right read and a good shot, just not the outcome you're probably hoping for.
Good pressure there by Day Wilson. Good job though to Thorpe to handle it. They get Oriami a touch at the top. Looks to attack on Edwards at the top. Here's Neal, gets the pull up right inside the 3, and she's able to hit for 2.
Edwards does a tremendous job on that first drive, uses her body, seals that thing off, but as soon as she leaves her feet to challenge that shot, which she did not need to do, she takes herself in a position on helping on the next play. And she wasn't being responsible for the ball on Neal's drive, but she would have created a crowd, so Neal may not have gone.
Woo! Day Wilson can't hit the 3. Edwards cleans it up, or we're going to get Amy Hare there called on the foul. Edwards is going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's a foul you earn by getting the inside position. Amy Hare releases from the first spot, gets inside of Edwards releases, gets inside Amy Hare on the rebound. Once she collects that, Amy Hare's on her back. It is really difficult. I mean, great shot blockers can sometimes get this, but it's real difficult from behind to go over top of the offensive player without touching them and get directly to the ball. So a lot of times, us as fans will watch where the hand on the ball goes, but if any part of the body is hitting you from behind, then that's disrupting the shooter, and it's going to be a foul. So Edwards deserves full credit for that inside position, getting a shot as a free look at the rim.
Edwards hits a free throw. She'll check right out, and Zulich is going to check back into the game here for Crestwood. We're 32 seconds here. Kings ball up 9. Crestwood remains with the pressure. Good job, Neal, to work against Demike's pressure. Oriami rips by right into the lane, her floater, and she's able to get it up and in.
And Oriami does a nice job seeing Lattimore coming over. It's a great shot blocker. We've seen her presence already in there, but gets it out of her hand quick enough that Lattimore can't quite get that timing down to block it. So nice drive, nice timing on the shot.
Day Wilson with a nifty crossover, gets to her floater, able to hit. 1 on the shot clock, and Day Wilson's going to come over and block Thorpe's attempt. So just like that at the end of the first, we have Kings leading this one, 36-27.
So I think of the last time out, Max, we had talked about the importance of Crestwood getting a little bit of offense going again. I felt like Lattimore was a big part of that, some touches down low, getting some things going to the rim, but credit to them as a team and as a unit. They got themselves some real good shots down the last 5 minutes. That led to a little more offensive injection, probably put them back into the flow of this game. So now going to halftime, it's not feeling as it probably is as large of a task as it did the 5-minute mark. Now you get yourself a 9-point game, both teams going in a chance to reset.
Leading scores at the half for Kings, we have Amy Hare with 12 and Neal with 10. Leading scores for Crestwood, we have Edwards and Lattimore both with 7. All right, so coming out of the halftime break, we have Kings leading this one 36-27 over the Crestwood Lions. Steve, if you're Crestwood, what are the things you're going to focus on here in the second half to claw your way back into this thing?
Great question, Max. I don't know that clawing the way back is going to be much of the thing on their mind right now. I think if you're Crestwood, you just got to stay calm and stay with what you're doing. They start the game with some really great shots. They finish the half with really great play as well. I think it's just that 10-minute stretch there between the end of the first and the start of the second that really went Kings' way. If you're Crestwood, you got to trust the process of what you got going on. Let your athletes take control in the second half. And really their key might just be staying out of the foul trouble that's been haunting them here a little bit in the first half.
All right, let's see what Crestwood draws up to start the half. They got a good look for Demika. Right for three, too strong. Fight for the rebound. Emma Hare brings down another one.
Run, nice little elevator there for her. Pinch her out the outside, get her a clean shot to start the half. I like that look. Really trying to get a chance to explode the scoring to start.
And Stewart looks to drive on Drummond. Emma Hare at the top, right in the lane. Good job there. Latasha Lattimore with the block.
Yeah, Lattimore, tremendous block, but Dave Wilson also deserves credit. Taking away that drive line for Emmy Hare. She put the ball on the floor, saw Dave Wilson, didn't want to run her over. That buys just enough time for Lattimore back in the play. Then she makes a tremendous job going all the way up there and getting that shot.
Dave Wilson tries a running hook off the glass, no good. Emma Hare cleans it up for Kings. Neal the other way, tries her left hand, it's no good. And here's Crestwood running.
The attack for Neal. That was the key for Kings in the first half.
Good job, Stewart, to come over. Edwards, though, able to control, finish over the top. 2 points, Aaliyah Edwards.
Kings has actually had pretty good shots here to start this half. It's one of those things, sometimes when the ball doesn't fall, it feels different than it should, but they should like the shots they're getting. I would stick with the offensive plan.
Stewart, a step back three over Drummond, no good. Crestwood cleans up the miss.
Well, this is a great start here for Crestwood. You came out, Kings gets Emmy Hare at the top with a chance to go by Lattimore for their first shot. They're able to disrupt that. They get their second one on Neal on the drive again, too. She's heavy on that attempt, and they get Stewart on a pretty good look for three. So they get themselves three good shots to start, come away with no points. On the other end, Crestwood has converted, get themselves to the foul line, and jump right back into this thing. So why I say Crestwood's going to be so happy is Kings has probably got part of their game plan going with what they want, and Crestwood has still chipped away that to start the second half.
On that foul, that was Stewart there picking up her fourth, so she's going to check out of the game. We'll see how the coach of Kings manages her time going forward. We're going to have Stupar checking back in, and Crestwood's already cut this one down to 5.
Yeah, that's a tough foul. They probably really want Stewart up there. She adds an offensive threat for them. They've already been missing some of her with foul trouble in the first half, so now it's going to continue to be a pattern in the second.
Here's Neal calling out the play up top. 10 on the shot clock here for Kings. They get a look for Emmy Hare. We're going to get Oriami called there on a moving screen as Lattimore looked to reach and disrupt that pass.
So see what Kings does here the next little bit. You probably want something to change the flow some. So as we said, they've had a pretty good start process-wise, but all the outcomes have gone against them. So you almost want something to change that rhythm a bit here, whether it's something different on defense, trying to make something happen, something different on offense, or a timeout, but something's got to change a little bit if you're Kings.
They get Edwards right on the block, goes right at Oriami, finishes with strength, and that's 6 points here in the first few minutes of the second half for Edwards.
And almost on cue with Edwards converting that hoop, it kind of forced the hand there for Kings. They had to take a timeout just to stop it. And again, I don't know that what they were doing on the court was actually as poor as it felt when a 7-0 goes against you, but it just has that feel sometimes, and you got to get things calmed back down. And what they'll have to reset now is how can they get themselves another good shot? And you're really dying just for a positive outcome to come. It won't just be the good process at this stage.
Here's Kings to inbound, and Crestwood's going to pick up full court. Oriami gets it into Stupar. Try to get it right back to Oriami, unable to do so. Neal, though, able to bring it up for Kings. Lattimore pressuring Amy Hare up top. Amy Hare keeps the dribble, gets a spin to the floater in the lane, and she's able to get her first 2 points of the half.
I'll tell you, that's a big-time move. It's a big-time bucket. And Kings also really needed it, but I'm going to reiterate what we said in the first half. It's going to be tough to rely on Amy Hare making all that happen from beyond the three-point line for an entire half. They're going to have to find some better touches for her.
Edwards again, this time with a step back over Stupar.
Crestwood's got enough weapons that they're going to need some help here for Amy Hare at the other end.
We're getting an offensive push-up call there on Thorpe. It's going to be her third.
So I'll tell you, 2 offensive fouls if you're Kings to start the half also just adds to this. What feels like doing some of the right things early on, the score not reflecting as such, but then you add to your own problems by getting offensive fouls. It quickly adds up, and Crestwood's been capitalizing.
Day Wilson's pass for Demeke is tipped away there by Neal. It's going to go out of bounds. Remains here with Crestwood, 14 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and they had a little confusion what they're trying to get in there. Crestwood, and I think Neal jumped on that. She saw that Day Wilson was a little stuck up top. They're trying to get a play in. Ends up throwing a pass across 3 lengths of the floor.
Lattimore drives on Stupar. Oriami steps in. And we're going to get Oriami picking it up. The blocking foul on that one. Oh no, Stupar, sorry, coming in from the side. So it's going to be Kings picking up their 4th foul here early on in the 3rd quarter. And Lattimore is going to go to the line for 2.
And Crestwood obviously right now is enjoying their forward matchups. They've been trying to find whatever matchup they think is a little more favorable each time down, but clearly Edwards and Lattimore being a big part of their offense here early in the second half. Got Demeke the shot for the first possession, but since then it's been almost all forward touches and action going towards the rim.
Lattimore continues to convert, and here Crestwood gets up in their pressure. Amy Hare is going to bring it up for Kings. Little hesitation, gets right in the lane, attacks Lattimore, going to draw the foul, back to the line for 2.
And does a real nice job there incorporating what we talked about Day Wilson was doing in the game. Gets the defender on the move, does the hesitation. Lattimore does the natural response as she's kind of chasing Amy Hare. Sees the hesitation, comes back towards Amy Hare. And once you're running towards her, she goes back downhill. It's real tough to recover. Amy Hare has the advantage position, draws that contact, then goes to the rim. Lattimore runs through her, gets herself a free trip to the foul line.
Amy Hare unable to convert from the line, misses both. Crestwood brings it down. Day Wilson swings across, tried to get to Demeke. It's going to be tipped away by Lattimore, though. Out of bounds, it's going to go over to Kings.
That's just unlucky. I mean, Day Wilson has nice vision from that side of the floor, throws a great pass all the way to the far corner. Demeke was open in the corner. Just unlucky that Lattimore thought it was a little bit intended for her over her head, so she reached up, ends up deflecting it. Unlucky of everybody trying to do the right things.
Thorpe gets in the lane, swings it out. A good look for Neal from the corner, and she drains the long 2.
I tell you, Thorpe, that's exactly what they needed from Kings. And what I mean by that is Thorpe comes off that ball screen. Lattimore does not leave Amy Hare. So Thorpe sees that read and continues to go downhill until she finally does draw a second defender, finds her teammate where that came from, open three-point attempt.
Great pass there. Day Wilson finding Drummond wide open on the back end of the zone. Amy Hare looks to attack Edwards, looks to tip it away. The pass for Neal this time again tipped away by Edwards. It's going to remain here at baseline. Kings ball, 15 on the shot clock.
Early in the game, Crestwood showed this as well, doing a great job applying pressure. They have the athletes, they have the team length to really disrupt defensively. What Kings did to help slow that down the first half, so they got some hoops at the rim. That collapsed some of that defense. They need to find a way to, again, collapse that Crestwood pressure.
Oriami, a quick trigger 3 from the wing, no good. Day Wilson looks to push for Crestwood. Gets in the lane, ball off her foot though. Remains here, Crestwood 15 on the shot clock. Edward gets a good look for 3 and she drains it!
You know, you got to give credit to Edwards. She started the half getting some nice touches inside, shoots them in rhythm, nothing fading away from the rim, so establishes that shooting feel. Now she steps back out, has that rhythm, has a good look, gets a chance to let it go from three-point, and gives them their first lead in probably the last 15 minutes of game time.
On that one, we're going to get Lattimore trying to challenge Amy Hare up top. Going to pick up her third foul, so another one with Crestwood with 3.
The 3 fouls makes it a little more challenging, but I do think the challenging of Amy Hare at the top, making her work, is a positive, and you might even take 1 foul for that. You probably just would not, or prefer that to not be Lattimore getting her third if you're Crestwood.
We get it back to Amy Hare.
Look at that Horns again with the back screen.
She waits for Neal to get out to the corner, attacks, unable to finish with the right hand. Lattimore cleans up the miss.
It was good attack for Amy Hare, but I think she missed Oriami there. They had the back screen action that drew another defender.
Edwards tries to kick off to Drummond. Amy Hare steps in though, picks it off, and Amy Hare is coming. Neal gets in, kicks out, a good look for Oriami for 3. That one's short. Good job, Dave Wilson, to cut off the Kings' offensive rebounder. It's going to go out of bounds. Crestwood ball. We're going to get subs here for Crestwood.
Kings has done a nice job in transition of finding space without the basketball, and then the basketball finding the person with space. So they've had some real good looks. They made a couple of those in the first half, had another good crack at it right there from 3. And it's credit to people finding space without the basketball.
King stays in a zone look here with Amy Hare going to the bench. Crestwood works it around. They get Drummond a look on the block. Kicks out to Reed. Mishandled at the top, though. It's going to go out of bounds off Reed. It's going to go over to Kings.
And the zone created just enough of a different look there for Crestwood that time. They saw the matchup they wanted, which was Lattimore, but sometimes against the zone, it's going to move one or two sides before it goes to the matchup you want.
Here's Thorpe pressured by Day Wilson up top. Hartman now guarded by Lattimore. Stupar up fake on Drummond. Kicks out, a good look for Hartman for 3, just strong. Day Wilson and Stupar fighting for the rebound, and Oriami's going to come up with it and draw the foul on Bailey.
Nice job there by Stupar at the top. So she starts to drive in, feels that Lattimore collapses in there. The shot blocker that she is takes away that space. But once Stupar sees that, she keeps herself on balance, can kick it back behind her, get a wide open crack from 3.
We get Edwards checking back here. Drummond's going to take a seat. Here's Thorpe at the top. Works off Stupar. Oriami attacks. And she's able to get right to the rim for 2.
Yeah, Thorpe had the switch she wanted there. They got Stupar rolling down the rim. But Thorpe was trying to get Stupar's attention as she rolled away from the basket, allowing Dave Wilson to be back into space. Stupar had the inside position and gave it up.
Right back the other way, and Dave Wilson answers with a floater of her own.
She's been so great with that left hand. I think she's shown that 3 or 4 times tonight, the ability to get to that left hand and finish. Real nice touch.
Oriami gets right in the lane. Good job, Edwards, to cut her off. They're unable to hit the layup. Crestwood pushing in transition. A quick trigger 3 for Dave Wilson. That one's too strong. But Reed comes down with the rebound for Crestwood.
Nice pass.
Good job, Day Wilson finding an open person right on the doorstep, and it's Edwards for 2 more.
Yeah, great pass there. Came to Day Wilson. She felt that right away. Just put it over top of the defense. Edwards had the inside position to the rim, so it was just as simple as catching that pass and laying it in.
Stupar attacks against Lattimore. Good adjustment by Lattimore. She blocks it from behind. Crestwood gets the rebound.
That's the presence Lattimore has there. Stupar ended up shuffling her field, got herself off balance, just trying to figure out where Lattimore was. Didn't like her being in space.
Day Wilson steps right into that 3, unable to hit. Oriami comes down with the rebound. Able to get it to Thorpe. Kings swinging it around. There's Oriami working against Day Wilson. Gets in the lane, steps around Lattimore, and is able to finish with the finger roll.
Nice scoop there. I thought last time Oriami had it, she took 1 dribble short.
Right back the other way, though, and Edwards just beats Kings down the floor. Wide open layup again for Crestwood.
And that's a tough one now. So just about to praise Oriami's finish at one end, but then you have to wonder if she was either gassed or just let up on that one getting back. It seemed like she got stuck at half court. Edwards ran right by her, got the layup.
Good job, Hartman, able to spin off Lattimore, and she finishes with the left hand at the basket.
Yeah, nice job, Hartman. Looked like the Crestwood was playing her for the pass a little bit. She felt that. Got herself right to the rim for an easy two.
Looks like they're trying to post up Lattimore. Oriami guarding. And we're going to get Oriami with the hold prior to the catch, so it's going to be her picking up her third foul, and it's going to be bonus, so Lattimore is going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, I think Oriami does look pretty tired. Probably answers our question from the last time down whenever it's getting behind her. Had a great start here to the half, but probably a little bit tired. We saw one offensive player get by her. Then this next time down, Lattimore posts her up, and anytime you see the defender start to get their arms wrapped around the offensive player, it's a good sign they don't have the energy left to move the legs as they want.
Going into the timeout, we have 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Crestwood takes the lead here, 49-46 over Kings.
Yeah, I think your Kings here, you've lived that storm a little bit now, and that's where Crestwood came out with the hot start of the second half. They went from down 7-9, whatever it was at the half, but turned it all the way to a lead the other way. So you had to live through that run, and that can be a real challenging thing. But they have subdued that now. The energy from that piece of it seems to be gone in the gym now. Now they get themselves back into a game. So if you remove how this half started, now you get yourself back in a 3-point game with 12 minutes to go, and I think Kings has got to settle this back down, get the legs underneath them for a couple of these athletes, see what they're going to do with Stewart here in this last 12 minutes, get Amy Hare back in here, and see if they can make a run here for final quarter.
Coming out of the timeout for Kings, we do have Hartman, Amy Hare, Neal, Skumatova, and Thorpe. Coming up for Crestwood, we have Reed, Edwards, Drummond, Bailey, and DeBarrell. We're going to get over and back there called on Crestwood, so ball's going to go over to Kings. Kings is able to inbound it into Thorpe. Skumatova gets in the lane.
I think Thorpe gave that one up a little bit early. She got herself around the top, had a lane to go down to the heart of the defense. But before she drew anybody or made anybody suck in some, she passed the lane and allowed the defense just to continue to fan out. So the reset might be good for Kings in this scenario. Most times in offense, you want the ball to stay in play, but this time might be good to reset what they got going on and get something going to the rim.
We're going to set the shot clock pause, so 10 on the shot clock on the inbound 3 now. Amy Hare working up top, got to go quick. Drives on Drummond, going to draw the foul, and then Amy Hare is going to go back to the line for 2.
Again, has done a nice job of where she starts to get the defender on their heels. And as soon as she feels that, she starts to pull it back and gets the defender closing out to her. And anytime she's felt the defense coming at her, she goes right into that contact, draws the foul, then tries to get the shot, but has done a real nice job of getting the defender moving both up and back before getting a shot attempt off.
My mistake, it was not Drummond picking up the foul, it was Bailey, so it's going to be Bailey second. Amy Hare heads to the line, converts her first. Off on the second, Edwards brings it down. Day Wilson hangs in the air, they swing it around, a good look for DeBarrell from the corner, and she hits the 3.
Great extra pass there. That's really unselfish by Crestwood. The ball comes to one side, you get an advantage of the first shooter, she gives it up to an even better shot.
We're going to get another offensive foul here called on King. We're going to get Amy Hare picking up that foul. It's going to be her second with the push.
One of King's problems in this third quarter, so we've had the run that Crestwood has done, and they've really added to their own challenge, and there's 3 offensive fouls have been a part of that. The offensive fouls, both turnovers, which hurt you in the moment, but then also added towards just this, which is creating a bonus situation.
We're going to have the officials talk about this one. So it's going to be Crestwood ball on the sideline. Here's Crestwood. Day Wilson at the top. Minute 30 to go here in the third. They get a look right into Edwards on the block. Great challenge there by Emmy Hare, but she's going to get called for the foul.
And you got to like that right now. You get 2 fouls back to back there on Emmy Hare. One on the offensive end, come right back at the ball inside Edwards. She has the patience to get it up in the air. Once you get Emmy Hare up in the air, goes into her, draws the foul.
Edwards unable to hit either. Oriami fight for the rebound, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds off of Edwards. It's going to go over to Kings.
Yeah, great hustle there. You get Edwards hitting the floor on that thing. I think sometimes when you miss the rebound, you still see the coaches, you just love to see the effort like that. You got Edwards chasing the whole thing all the way out of bounds, trying to get the ball back. You sometimes take that as a bit of a positive, even though you can't keep possession, just to know your team's got the fight in them.
Here's Neal up top, guarded by Day Burrell. Thorpe now against Day Wilson. 10 on the shot clock here for Kings. Good job, Thorpe gets in the lane. Neal drives in this time, gets the pull up. That one's short. Reed's able to bring it down for Crestwood. Day Wilson, great dump off to Edwards. She kicks out. Demoke for 3. This one's off. Good tip though by Reed. Crestwood retains it. They're down to 7 on the shot clock. Day Wilson looks to guard on Neal. Gets into her, dumps off to Edwards. That one's going to be blocked by Emmy Hare. Kings brings up the rebound. Here comes Emmy Hare in transition.
So Day Wilson, 2 great passes in that possession, but I think both times she surprised Edwards.
Great cut by Thorpe on the back end, and Oriami's able to find her 2 points there for Kings.
And to Edwards' credit, the last time down, she made sure she caught the ball before doing much, but I think they lost that half second because the pass did surprise her.
Right before the end of the third, and Day Wilson pulls up right at the foul line and drills the jumper. She's going to extend the Crestwood lead to 5 here, heading into the fourth.
Yeah, great job. Day Wilson feels that one there. The help defender, the post defender, screener defender, never really engages with her, so she comes off that, has a big pocket of space to work with, goes right into a rhythm pull-up. Easy 2 points for her.
And Edwards there, 16 points just in the third. Crestwood doubled their output from the first half there with 27 in the third, taking a 5-point lead here over Kings heading into the fourth. Coming out to start the fourth here for Kings, we have Neil, Thorpe, Oriami, Emmy Hare, and Stupar. For Crestwood, we have Day Burrell, Day Wilson, Reed, DeMackay, and Edwards. Good pressure here early for Crestwood. Neil gets right in the lane, though, attacks. Good job, DeMackay, to challenge, not foul. She's going to block it off of Neil and out of bounds, so it's going to go over to Crestwood.
Yeah, real nice job, as you said. Get a hand on that, stay out of the way, let it hit the offensive player. Stay out of foul trouble, good defensive stop.
Edwards, step back jumper over Emmy Hare, it's long. Oriami cleans up the miss for Kings. This is a different look here for Crestwood, Steve. Edwards the only big. They've been functioning with Lattimore and Drummond a lot with Edwards. So we'll see how Kings responds with the equal size. Stupar tries to take it at DeMackay, unable to go, and Edwards cleans up the miss.
If Crestwood can get away with that defensively, DeMackay guarding Stupar, this lineup will cause a lot of troubles for Kings on the other end as well. So Kings is going to have to capitalize on that matchup to make them pay for this lineup, that being the Stupar versus DeMackay at the blocks.
DeMackay couldn't hit the three. Neil cleaned up the miss. Is going to be fouled there by Reed. It's going to be Kings ball baseline. We're going to have Stewart check back into the game here with her 4 fouls. Stupar is going to take a break.
And this is a tough challenge for Stewart. I mean, anyone that's played with foul trouble can appreciate this. When you sit for that length of time, then trying to get back into rhythm can be a real tough task. And what makes it even tougher for Stewart, she's just not out there running around. They need a little bit of offense from her. So it feels like a long time. It probably has been almost like 40 minutes of real-life time with very limited play for her. And now they're going to ask her to be creative on the offensive end and get into a bit of a rhythm. And
Oriami gets the ball over half and is going to be fouled there by Reed again. So 2 quick fouls for Reed here in the fourth. It's going to be Kings ball sideline.
Typically when you start the fourth quarter, you try to stay out of foul trouble for the first couple minutes. And the reason being is you don't want anything at the end of the game to get into a bonus situation. So try and show some discipline. You try and stay out of those scenarios. You don't want the 5 fouls to happen the first 4 or 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and then the other team's shooting bonus down the stretch.
And with that, we do have Lattimore checking back in the game for Day Burrell, so there's some more size there for Crestwood. Here's Oriami working on Reed again. Gets in the lane, kicks out to Stewart. 5 on the shot clock. Stewart tries to back down, loses balance. The right-handed hook is too strong, and Day Wilson cleans it up for Crestwood. Right down the lane, here's Lattimore, challenged at the rim by Emmy Hare, but able to finish over the top.
Yeah, Emmy Hare got a little locked in on her matchup. She's running back in defense, just standing beside Edwards. No one's beside Lattimore. She's uncontested at the rim.
Neil challenges Lattimore. She's able to block that. Emmy Hare cleans up the miss, though, goes right to the rim and finishes with the left.
What a great block by Lattimore on the first one to make that possible. I mean, Emmy Hare deserves credit for the offensive rebound, but if Lattimore had a little more support there on the rebounding effort, that could have been a great block that could have finished the Kings' run.
And challenging the pass into Edwards, Stewart's going to pick up her 5th foul there, so she's going to head to the bench, and we're going to have Stupar check right back into the game.
Yeah, it's a tough day for Stewart. I mean, she's been such a big piece of this Kings team. I think she's a big part of their offense. Very gifted offensive player, and offensive players hate fouling out, I'll tell you that. This is going to force the issue on Kings, but Oriami's had a great day for them offensively. Neil's obviously been a bit of a spark plug, but they're going to need some production here outside of Emmy Hare to keep up with the scoring of Crestwood.
Good look there for Day Wilson, and she buries the long triple. Pushes the Crestwood lead to 8.
Day Wilson's had a bit of that feel in her here late in the third quarter. Felt like she got a couple 3-point attempts too, trying to break this thing open.
Day Wilson tries to come and sneak that ball away from Neil on the backside. She's going to pick up the reach-in foul, though. It's going to be her 3rd, team's 3rd.
She's got that mentality you want to ice these games, and you could feel the 3-point shot she was taking. She's trying to find that one that really puts the nail in this thing. And again, just missing on the steal here again. So Day Wilson can feel it. She's like a shark right now, circling.
Kings able to inbound it to Emmy Hare, gets a cutting it. Oriami right to the rim, and she's able to finish for 2.
Great pass there by Emmy Hare, but the great part of the pass wasn't anything to do with like a look, but actually just how she bounced it in a spot where Oriami could just run through the ball.
Edwards attacking on Stupar. Kicks out to Reed, the pull-up right around Oriami, and she's able to hit it.
Yeah, nice job by Reed. Had the 3-point attempt, thought she had an even better one when she had the defender to run by her, which she did. Nice clean look at the 2.
Both offensives clicking here early in the fourth, Steve. It's a fun one.
Kings are going to find a way to slow Crestwood back down. They had that stretch in the first half where they had them slowed offensively, and they're going to need something like that here in the fourth.
Neal gets in the lane, blocked there by Demake. Amy Hare picks it up, gets right to the rim, can't hit the layup. Tipped away by Edwards, and here comes Day Wilson. Tries to find Demake, open on the wing. It's going to be just out of her reach and out of bounds. It's going to go right back over to King.
You know, I think that one for Day Wilson is one of those ones you feel a bit with sometimes your creative players. She got down into the paint. I think she felt where she wanted her teammates to go. None of them really filled those lanes. You could just feel her sense of like wanting to make the pass. So as she came out of the trouble, she just throws across the floor, but it wasn't really there.
Here's Stupar with Lattimore on her up top. Gets it over to Edwards.
Kings has missed that back screen a couple times here in the second half.
Amy Hare spins on Edwards right to the left hand, and she's able to finish.
Great finish. It looked like she might get away with an extra step on that one. Had the defense go in one direction, got herself back to two, but either way, great finish to get to her left hand. Nice touch by the rim.
Day Wilson right around Stupar in the lane. Can't finish with the finger roll. Lattimore with the follow plus the foul.
So we had talked about this earlier in the game from King's perspective. And I actually believe we're talking about Thorpe. If you can get the defender, the screen defender, to come challenge a shot on you, your number one job as the offensive player is just to make sure it gets up on the rim. You don't have to worry as much about the shot getting blocked or even going in, because your offensive player, in this case now it's going to be Lattimore, has all the space for the offensive rebound. That's what Day Wilson does here. She gets Amy here to chase her, just puts the ball up there. It's almost like a pass off the rim. Lattimore's all by herself there to collect that thing, has the inside position, gets the 2 points, and draws the foul. People coming from behind. Great job by Day Wilson, both drawing the defense and getting the ball to a spot where Lattimore can go get it.
Just going to have a little court cleanup here as bodies roll over. Wipe up the sweat as both teams will take a breather.
It's going to be a big stretch now for Kings. I mean, it's at 8 with the free throw pending for Crestwood. I think if you want to stay in this thing, it cannot get too much further, and it probably has to start to shrink quickly. We saw them use a little bit of pressure there late in the first half, and they might have to come back with some sort of look that way defensively here too, to try and create some possessions. Crestwood's offense is running right now.
Lattimore is able to convert the three-point play. Good job, Thorpe able to get open. Day Wilson guarding. Thorpe spins off Day Wilson, gets right to the lane. Lattimore, though, the huge rejection at the rim. Crestwood cleans up the miss, and here they go, pushing in transition. Reed gets it to Day Wilson.
Lattimore's a tremendous athlete, but I mean, more impressively, it's just been her timing on these things. Just has the ability to wait things out.
Little sidestep there for Day Wilson, and drains the three.
That's the one she's been feeling. I told you she's got that instinct of wanting to put this thing away. That three-pointer might be the one that did it. She let Emmy Hare know.
Emmy Hare, Edwards guarding. Edwards tips it away. It's going to remain here. Kings ball, sideline, 14 on the shot clock.
Big shot there for Day Wilson. She was just feeling this game, sitting in the balance a little bit, wanted to take these big shots. Let Emmy Hare know she shifted all the pressure back on the Kings side now. We talked in the first half. When you're playing the 1 seed, if you can carry, the longer you carry the lead, the more pressure it puts on them. I think Kings did a nice job putting some of that on the Crestwood, but they've responded. They've come out flying here in the second half. The offense has been clicking, and I think that shot from Day Wilson was just basically passing it back to Letitia.
Going into the timeout, we have Crestwood now 12-point leads over Kings. 5:40 to go here in the fourth.
And I think if you're Kings on this side of it now, you got to think it from the lens. You got about 6 minutes. You got 12 points to make up. So depending on what kind of score you think that can be, whether it's 12-0 or 18-6 type difference, that's a lot of points for you to put up now in 6 minutes, and you can't give up many for it still to be a plus 12 type differential in your favor. So you've got to find some ways to A, slow the clock down or shorten possessions, and you've got to find some way to create extra possessions for yourself. Some of the things teams typically want to do in this is getting extra bodies going to the glass, which risks some of your transition defense, and also probably a chance for them to use some of their pressure defense they've done throughout this game and throughout the season. And I'm assuming Emmy Hare is going to be a big part of that in the front end of it. And the challenge for her in that situation will now be, can she play this entire fourth quarter or the minutes that she's going to play and be in that type of setting, being a part of the pressure and being a part of their offense? It's a lot for one person to carry.
Coming out of the timeout for Kings, we have Emmy Hare, Oriami, Stupar, Hartman, and Neal. Coming up for Crestwood, we have Day Wilson, Lattimore, Reed, Bailey, and Edwards. Neal uses the Emmy Harris screen up top. Oriami comes off it. The step back three on the wing, and it's good.
That was a big shot they really needed. It looked like they were trying to get Emmy Harris, the screener, involved in the action. Edwards does a nice job disrupting the ball carry and recovering.
It's going to be a long two. Foot was on the line, so 10-point lead now Crestwood. Day Wilson drives in, kicks out. Good job, Oriami, to confuse the offensive player. We're going to get Reed there picking up the travel. Ball's going to go back over to King.
Yeah, and it was a nice job of Oriami on the close, though. She kind of closed with the body, but also played that passing angle, and I think it just fooled Reed enough that she lost her balance. Tried to salvage the possession, but unable to before the travel.
There's Oriami using Stupar's screen. Hartman over to Emmy Hare. Emmy Hare now. We're going to get a foul there on Crestwood, so it's going to remain here with Kings.
Now, we talked about in the start of the quarter, the one real plus the Kings has going for them now is this is now the fourth team foul for Crestwood. So anything they can do now to draw another foul gets them a chance to go to the free throw line. And as we talked about in the timeout, that'll both stop the clock and give them a chance to get some free offense going.
Neal over to Oriami. Great step right to the rim, and Reed's going to pick up the foul on that challenge. Oriami's going to go to the line for two.
I really liked Oriami when she's turning that corner there, had her eyes locked right in that help defender, seeing if she was going to stay in front of her, creating the pass out to the corner, or was she going to fan out, which the defender did, and Oriami just kept going straight to the rim, draws the foul on the defender from behind her.
Oriami able to hit both from the line.
Kings has got to find a way to take advantage of the bonus here now. It's going to give them both a breather for their pressure defense, but also stop the clock. They got to continue to be aggressive on offense.
And there we have it right in front of us. Bailey drives right to the sideline, gets trapped by Oriami and Emmy Hare. We're going to get the steal here for Kings. Oriami trying to find a cutting Neal. Good job, though, by Day Wilson to take that away. Neal gets in the lane, finds a Stupar for a 2-2, and she's able to hit.
Yeah, I like that, though. I like shooting it open when you're in rhythm. You don't have to worry about the three-point line. If you're open, you're in rhythm, shoot the ball.
Oh, big block there by Emmy Hare on Drummond, coming back the other way. And we're going to get a travel as two Crestwood players fought for the rebound. Ball back over to Kings.
I'll tell you two amazing things on this, Max. The block by Emmy Hare just matches what Lattimore's been doing this game, too. You see two great athletes just cleaning things up on both ends. And it allows you to take the chances you are with your defense. People can take the chance here in the wing like Stupar did, knowing that Emmy Hare can clean up and behind you. And we've seen that on the other end of the floor with Lattimore as well. But the other side is Crestwood just gets so unlucky with that. They get the block, they get two players basically getting it, but they run into each other, which is just bad luck, and it ends up being off balance.
Neal does a good job getting to the lane. Good job by Demike not to foul, though. Stupar tries to follow. It's no good. Emmy Hare cleans up that miss. They swing it around, get a good look for Neal from three. That one's off, but Emmy Hare again on the offensive rebound. We're just going to have a foot on the out-of-bounds line, though. Ball over to Crestwood.
Oh, man, what a possession that was. I mean, Kings was doing what they had to do. They got themselves to the line, got themselves in situations where trying to draw a foul, got good shots, got offensive rebounds, got a clean look at three. They had everything they needed. They just needed one of those things to fall. And, when you've got a 6-point game, but it's only 4 minutes to go, you need things to fall as well. So as much as you're playing hard and good things are happening, at this time, things also have to click.
We have Edwards checking back into the game here for Day Burrell for Crestwood.
And they were out of pressure this time, too, just back to player for Kings.
Day Wilson, the crossover on Neal. It's going to draw the foul. We're going to get Day Wilson heading to the line here. 3:30 to go in the fourth.
And Day Wilson's a nice job drawing the foul, but again, as we talked about a bit earlier, just love the sense she has of this. As soon as, again, you saw Emmy Hare leave the charge circle coming towards her to help on that, Day Wilson's first instinct is to put that ball over top of her. Make sure it gets up top towards the glass. Had she not been fouled, that thing was going to get up on top. Allow her rebounders to play in all that space and with advantage.
Day Wilson hits the second. 7-point lead here, Crestwood. They stay in that man-to-man full court pressure. Thorpe back in the game, handles it for Kings up top. We're down to 10 on the shot clock. Oriami trying to drive on the wing, right through Day Wilson. Can't hit the layup though. DeMckay comes in with the rebound for Crestwood. Day Wilson up top. Gets a switch off the Drummond screen, working on Stupar. Swings it over. Lattimore, a step back two, no good. Emmy Hare cleans up the miss. She's going to take it herself. Long steps, finds an open Oriami for three, just rims off.
Man, Kings has had some really good shots here down the stretch.
DeMckay to answer her three, it's too strong. Neal cleans up that miss, and she's going to push for Kings. Looks like we have some tired legs out here with both teams fighting. Kings taking some time to get into their offense. We only have 9 on the shot clock. They got Emma Hare, a good look on the baseline, though. She's going to pick up a foul there, Day Burrell, and that's going to be bonus, so she'll be at the line for 2.
And that's probably exactly what Kings needed now. You've had some real good shots, and unfortunately none of them have fallen, or I shouldn't say none, but the last couple have not gone down. But just to keep this thing going, because time is of the essence, you get a trip to the free throw line, reestablish the offensive flow, stop the clock, give everybody a breather, and set up your defense.
We have Hartman and Edwards both checking in here on the break. Emmy Hare hits 1 to 2. Cuts the lead to 6, 2 minutes to go here, and here we see that Kings pressure. Day Wilson's pass tipped by Emmy Hare, second pass, out of bounds, it's going over to Kings.
Yeah, we made this comment early in the game too, Max. If you can get deflection usually in your pressure, even early on, it really speeds things up for the offense, and they end up throwing longer passes than they want. And this one, again, like Day Wilson, ends up being a bit errant where there's no one on the receiving end. But again, it's going all the way across the floor, and it's giving opportunities for the defense to jump through there. The early deflection has created so much for the defense.
They get Hartman cutting to the lane. Great pass, finds Thorpe wide open on the block, and she finishes for 2.
Nice patience by Hartman to collect that thing. Just make sure she had possession before she tries to rush it.
Better job there. Crestwood able to break through the pressure. We have Oriami and Edwards both diving there for the pass. It's going to be tipped off of Oriami and out of bounds, so it's going to remain here. Crestwood ball, 19 on the shot clock. We're going to timeout Crestwood here. They lead 4, 2 minutes to go in the 4th.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a really great job by Edwards. And what happened there is I think Oriami had the inside track on that pass. So Edwards, without running over the defender, does a nice job just getting herself back into that play, not allowing Oriami to have a clean catch. Gets a deflection off it, hits Oriami again, goes out of bounds. They maintain possession. But I thought her willingness to stay in that play and fight for the ball, maintain possession for them, didn't allow the steal and breakout for Kings.
Coming out of the timeout here for Kings, we have Thorpe, Hartman, Emmy Hare, Oriami, and Neal. Coming out of the timeout for Crestwood, we have Edwards, Lattimore, Drummond, Day Wilson, and DeMckay. Demicade inbound here for Crestwood. They work it around. Here's Day Wilson up top. 10 on the shot clock. Get Edwards a look on the block. Double comes. Pivots through, and she's going to get called for 3 seconds in the key. Ball back to Kings.
Like that Edwards able to keep her balance there, but this is the second time we've seen the double start to come at her. She's going to pivot away from that and create a little bit of space so she can get the ball moving, get themselves a good shot out of it. Clearly she's going to be a focus for Crestwood down the stretch. She's going to make good decisions.
Oriami looking to attack on Edwards. Good job cutting her off. Oriami calling for players to come up. Here's Amy Hare up top. 8 on the shot clock. Amy Hare gets to the crossover, gets in the lane, the spin. Right hand, unable to finish. Lattimore comes down with the rebound, and she'll be fouled.
I tell you, what a great play. And I mean on both ends. Amy Hare does a nice job for herself on the top there to create a shot. Gets Lattimore going both directions, brings her down, spins back, something at the rim. Great offensive move, but more impressively was the defense by Lattimore. Stick through all that, take Amy Hare right to with her left down there, challenge the shot, and then gets her own rebound to wrap that thing up and wrap that possession up. So great job by Lattimore.
Great pass by Lattimore right at the other end, finds Drummond on the doorstep for 2.
Could have been the pivotal swing in this thing. I mean, it went right down to the stretch. Lattimore gets that huge stop on Amy Hare, then comes back down with the key assist, put this thing back to 6.
Thorpe, great crossover on Day Wilson, gets right to the rim for 2, and she answers. It's 4, 1 minute to go here. Here's Day Wilson going to pull it out for Crestwood. Gets her crossover, dishes off to Drummond, working on Hartman, and she finishes over the top.
You know, I think Day Wilson did her job there, freezing the other defender, which is a really difficult thing to do. You have the one on you. She starts to get by her. She looks enough like she's going to shoot that she actually freezes the help defender, throws it back to that player, and they're able to get a lay-in. So beautiful job of looking like you're going to go score before making the pass, getting everybody involved in it.
It's 4 quick points there for Drummond late, stretching the lead here, 46 seconds. We're going to have Kings ball. Steve, where are you going to go if you're Kings on offense? You got to work quick, only 46 to go, down 6.
I think if you're Kings here, you got to keep trusting Amy Hare. She's been so great for you all game. She's obviously a key piece, and just trust her to make that decision. Either one-on-one go get herself a shot, but I would still have the confidence and the faith that she can draw that second defender and make the right decision to get you one more pass, get somebody an open look. And I think on the other end, if you're Crestwood here, I'd play it out on this one. I think there's going to be enough time where you can go out there, don't let the defense get set, and I'd come back down here and I'd be looking for Day Wilson again in space. I think she's just done so well with the basketball.
And with the timeout and advancement, we're going to only have 14 here on the shot clock for Kings. Coming out of the timeout for Crestwood, we have Day Wilson, Lattimore, Drummond, Demicade, and Edwards. Thorpe inbounds. Here's Oriami up top. Uses the Amy Hare screen so they get the switch onto Edwards. Stupar, good job by Drummond to cut her off. Oriami a deep 3, and it's good!
Oh, they got the 3. Big shot there by Oriami.
Coming back the other way. Whoo! Dangerous pass there. Day Wilson pulls it out. 12 seconds difference, shot clock, game clock. Crestwood leads this one by 3. They're working it around. Here's Lattimore, a little step back in the lane, and she finishes for 2.
She's been so great here the last couple of minutes, just clutch on each possession.
Amy Hare cut off by Day Wilson. They have to go quick. 12 seconds, gets in the lane. Tries to finish the reverse, it's no good. Crestwood cleans up the miss. And just like that, we're going to have this one. Crestwood takes this one 74-69 over the visiting Kings Christian Collegiate.
I mean, what a tremendous game all around. You could talk about so many different facets of this and how this thing went. Different people contributing at different times, but really got to give credit to Lattimore down the stretch. And I go back to the point where she was one-on-one with Amy Hare in a 4-point game, able to maintain that pressure on Amy Hare on the drive, both directions, challenge it, gets her own gets the rebound from that possession, comes down to the other end, drives baseline, a dump off, puts this thing to 6, and I think that was really the finishing point to this thing.
And join us next week as we will be back with you Wednesday as TRC travels to take on Kings at 3 p.m.